We'll start with this from the Daily Wire. It says a sold-out Houston music festival attended by an estimated 50,000 people turned deadly on Friday night after a headliner began to perform. The Associated Press reported the crowd gathered for the two-day event in NRG Park at Astroworld. They suddenly surged toward the stage during a performance by rapper Travis Scott. And he was not just the performer at this Astroworld event. It's his event. He puts the event on. I believe he has an album named called Astroworld. So this is his event that he puts on. And it says, quote, they started surging towards the stage, squeezing fans so tightly together that they could not breathe or move their arms, and killing 8 people in the chaos, hospitalizing several others. According to the outlet, as a timer clicked down to start the performance, the crowd pushed forward. Nick Johnson, a high school student who attended the concert, told the AP, everyone was passing out around you. Everyone was trying to help each other, but you couldn't move. You couldn't do anything. You can't even pick your arms up. It just got worse and worse. Now, keep in mind, 8 people. And I mean, this has been a pretty big story in the news. I don't know how it's not a bigger story than it's being treated. 8 people, mostly kids, died at a concert. But remember, prior to this, what I think was considered the deadliest and most catastrophic music festival ever was Woodstock '99. And in that, I believe that was like a 2 or 3 day festival. There was 200,000 people there, and 3 or 4 people died. And it was a big deal at the time. I can remember it distinctly. Yeah, 3 or 4 deaths with that many people. This is 8 people in a crowd of 50,000. In a span of a couple hours died. Officials called off the event about 40 minutes after law enforcement observed concertgoers going down. Authorities said a mass casualty incident had occurred at 9:38 p.m. According to the Houston Chronicle, concert attendees said Scott appeared to play his whole set and finished at 10:15 p.m. And Travis Scott is the boyfriend or whatever, I don't think they're married, of Kylie Jenner, one of the Kardashians. There are a lot of weird reports coming out of this concert, and I don't know how much of it is true or not. One thing that you heard early on, kind of the rumor circulating online, is that people were being injected with some unknown substance, and this has been at least partially confirmed. There was a security guard who was briefly rendered unconscious after feeling a prick on his neck. And then they woke him up and they found markings where he had been injected by somebody. And there were also reports of many, at least several people going into cardiac arrest. It's not clear if that happened during this surge or before it, or if it had something to do with what sparked it to begin with. But you had people being injected with drugs, apparently, other people being trampled to death. And the videos that you see online now, and I'm not going to play them, but you can go find these videos. There's many of them circulating. Travis Scott is up there continuing the performance. Now, early on, I read reports saying that he stopped multiple times to try to tell the crowd to back up. That was the report anyway. That's the claim. I have not seen any videos of Travis Scott stopping the concert. Doesn't mean he didn't do it. I haven't seen those videos. The videos I've seen show Travis Scott up on the stage while there are kids collapsing all around and medics rushing into the crowd. And he's continuing to perform. But now he says that he's very upset about it, and he put out a kind of a statement on Instagram the next day talking about how devastated he is. And I don't know. You watch this and tell me if you find it to be sincere.
I just want to send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. You know, my fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience. And anytime I can make out, anything that's going on, I stop the show and, help them get the help they need, I could just never imagine the severity of the situation.
Yeah, I find his reaction somewhat unsettling. I don't really 8 people just died in front of you, man, at your concert. 8 kids were just trampled to death, and this is his reaction. It sounds like he's, this sounds like the kind of statement that you have if you had to cancel a concert or something because something happened, and people were, and you had to issue a bunch of refunds, and people were inconvenienced, and so I could see that. Yeah, really, really sorry about that. Really, really, really unfortunate. When I watch that, especially as he's not taking his hands off his head the entire time, that's kind of a tell also that someone's not being entirely sincere. They keep rubbing their face and everything, so he's got all those tells. But he does it in black and white. He takes the time to change the filter on it to make it black and white. This is someone, it seems to me, trying to seem devastated and saying that they're devastated, but it doesn't really seem that way to me. One thing you have to remember about Travis Scott, some background on this guy, is that he has a history of riling up the crowd at his concerts, intentionally encouraging them to rush through security barricades. Now, I don't know if he did that during this concert, but he has a history of doing that. I've read some accounts from security guards who've worked Travis Scott concerts and how he'll kind of turn against them during the concert and encourage fans to bum rush them. There's another video, very disturbing, from a few years ago where Travis Scott was crowd surfing, and some kid and he looked like he was 14 or 15 years old, maybe younger. Some kid grabs his shoe, I don't know if intentionally or not, and then Travis Scott loses his mind on this kid and starts calling for the crowd to, F him up and to beat the kid up for taking his shoe. Enlisting a crowd of people who are, many of them already drunk on drugs. They're kind of out of their minds because that's the environment at these kinds of concerts. It's an environment intentionally designed to make people sort of lose their senses. And he's sicking this mob on this kid because it took his shoe. Meanwhile, I'm sure this guy has 500 pairs of shoes at his house, along with a couple dozen backstage for all of his outfit changes, wardrobe changes. So that's the kind of guy he is. Which means I put all that together and I put this on him. I don't know how. I put this on him at least to the extent that you blame Alec Baldwin for shooting the cinematographer. I mean, it wasn't just his fault. There were other people involved, but you're the one holding the gun and you didn't check it. And so this falls on you. Travis Scott, this is your concert. It's up to you to make sure everything is safe. At the very least, if 8 people die, it means that this was a massive failure in planning and logistics and making sure you had enough security there. And that goes to you. You throw an event and 8 people die because, at a minimum, because of poor planning. Yeah, this guy should be arrested and charged already. Shouldn't even be a discussion. And then you add into that you see some of the pictures from the event, and you hear some of the accounts, and there's a lot of just weird satanic imagery everywhere. I was listening to one account from a girl that was there saying that it was just, and she said that she's not religious, but it felt weird and satanic even to her, even the kind of music they were playing. And all of this stuff is designed to make, as I said, it kind of makes people lose their senses, lose their mind in a certain way. And it's designed to have that effect. And then you add in all the drugs and everything, even more so. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.